Let's talk about something that can feel, well, really overwhelming: the cost of fertility treatment. It's a conversation that's just packed with numbers, a ton of uncertainty, and so much emotion. So today, we're going to face that conversation head on. But we're going to do it with a totally new perspective, one that might just make this whole journey feel a little more manageable. Does this sound familiar? It's a feeling so many of us know all too well. You kind of start out with one number in your head, one particular plan, and then before you know it, the reality of what it all costs looks completely different. So, how does that even happen? Let's break it down. It usually starts with a question that seems perfectly logical, right? How much will this next step cost? We get laser focused on the price tag of a single procedure or one appointment. But that, right there, is where the trouble really begins. I mean, think about it. You're told, okay, this appointment will be X amount, and the next procedure should be around Y. You're getting all these costs piece by piece, and yeah, that feels manageable in the moment, but what happens when all those little pieces start adding up? And this is the real kicker. Because when weeks turn into months, and sometimes those months turn into years, that piece-by-piece accounting can lead to a total that is just staggering. A number you never ever anticipated. And that's exactly where that feeling of "I never thought it would cost this much" comes from. So to really understand the investment here, we have to completely redefine what cost even means. It's not just a number on a bill. It's actually made up of three very distinct and equally important parts. You see, when we only focus on the financial piece, we're kind of setting ourselves up for burnout. But if we can understand all three parts of the cost, we can create a plan that actually feels sustainable and, more importantly, protects our own well-being through all of this. Okay, so first up, of course, is the financial cost. This is the one we all see. It's the price of the consultations, the procedures themselves, the medications. It's tangible, and it's what we usually mean when we talk about cost. Pretty straightforward. But then there's the second one, the cost of your time. And oh my gosh, this one is huge. It's all those hours spent driving to appointments, sitting in waiting rooms, the time off work you have to juggle, and just the mental space it all takes to manage the schedule. This cost just accumulates relentlessly, over months and sometimes even years. And finally, we have the emotional cost. Now, this one has no price tag, but it can absolutely be the heaviest of all. It's that brutal roller coaster of getting your hopes way, way up, facing disappointment, and then somehow having to find the strength to hope all over again. It's a cost that just builds up inside you, and it can take the biggest toll. So knowing that the true cost is this big combination of money, time, and emotion, how do we take back some control? Well, it all starts by changing the fundamental question we ask ourselves, maybe before we even begin. And this right here is the crucial shift we need to make. Instead of always asking, how much is this one session? We need to start asking ourselves, what is my limit? What's the framework that I'm willing and able to operate within? So why is this so powerful? Because it puts you back in the driver's seat. In a process that can make you feel so powerless, defining your own boundaries, whether they're about money, time, or your emotional energy, is this incredible act of self-care and control. And what's so important to understand here is that there is no one right way to set your limits. This is deeply, deeply personal. Your path is your own, and honestly, any conscious decision you make is the right one for you. A limit can take so many different forms. For some, it might be a time frame, like, okay, we're going to try this for 1 year. For other people, it's a number of attempts. And for some, the decision is to just keep going until a result is achieved, knowing that the other costs will be really high. None of these is better than the other. They're just different, totally valid choices. Because really, the alternative is what truly leads to hardship. Just moving forward without a plan, without having to find any boundaries for yourself, that's the path that is most likely to leave you feeling completely exhausted, depleted, and just overwhelmed by all three of those costs we talked about. At the end of the day, making a conscious choice about your limits gives you a framework. It creates this sense of peace and predictability in a journey that is anything but predictable. It lets you invest your resources, your money, your time, and your heart with intention. So I really want to leave you with this thought. Whether you're just starting out or you're deep in the process, just take a moment. Before you make the next call or schedule the next appointment, ask yourself this one powerful question. What is the point at which I will feel satisfied with my journey, no matter what the outcome is? Answering that is the very first step to finding your own path forward.